We examined many indicators, such the quantity of emails sent each day or the amount of cars on the road, in an effort to better understand our influence on the planet. But maybe it would tell us more to take all that away. Imagine a world in which humankind suddenly disappears. The scene that emerges is one of complete chaos, with cars, trains are crashing into one another, and airplanes falling from the sky. Around the planet, widespread blackouts would begin in the first hour. Without human supervision, energy-producing systems such as wind and water power plants would come to a stop, while fuel-starved coal plants would stop producing electricity altogether. The next day, nuclear reactors would be shut down by computers acting on their own initiative in an attempt to prevent possible catastrophes. Though there would be a little respite from nuclear catastrophes, the world would be in a state of total helplessness. On the third day, Big Ben, the famous landmark in London, stops ringing, upsetting its daily rhythm. Thousands of pets and zoo residents are either escaping or risk starving as a result of the city's streets becoming home to roaming animals. 10 days later, nuclear power plant safety precautions would finally fail, setting off a chain reaction of explosions and radioactive fallout around the globe. Some species would survive and even flourish, while wildlife in the impacted areas would die out. Once confined, cattle and other animals would roam freely across the Great Plains of North America. Supermarkets would be swamped with rodents and mice, and former pets would turn to feral tendencies in order to survive. The familiar cityscapes would become natural theme parks in a handful of years. After nuclear radiation was eliminated, greenery will decorate metropolitan areas. Moss would take over the streets, and flowers and trees would climb the abandoned towers. 3 decades later, the exploration-deployed satellites would return to Earth with uncollected data. Buildings and apartments would have collapsed or disintegrated, and in certain coastal areas, entire cities would have been submerged under the sea. New coral reefs would grow out of old ships that are grounded or submerged. Even without us, global warming would continue for 40 years after our departure, raising Earth's temperature by about 0.6 Celsius. Still, there would be a noticeable improvement in the surroundings. Marine life would have almost fully recovered from decades of overfishing after 60 years, flourishing once more. Urban environments would return to their pre-human, natural states in 150 years. Building bones would show through layers of snow and ice in northern places like Vancouver, and London would turn into a swamp. It might look like a gigantic sand castle in Las Vegas. 2.5 centuries of lush, non-human vegetation would have successfully lowered the amount of extra carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. The eastern half of North America would have been reclaimed by vast forests, leaving only scraps of steel and plastic as evidence of human life. Once impressive sites would progressively decay. The world's forests would be in the best condition in 10,000 years, half a millennium, after humans vanished off the face of the planet. The final evidence of human existence would have been completely destroyed by the natural environment. Some plastic items may remain in place even after 25,000 years, as may traces left over by our lunar explorations. So if you've ever think about what it means to be one of the 7.6 billion people on Earth, then think in this way. To hide the proof of our existence would take more than 25,000 years. It is indisputable that we have had a profound and amazing impact on the land, even while it's unlikely that people would disappear overnight. We shouldn't undervalue our world. What positive impact do you hope to have on the world? Answer it in the comment section. Please show your support by liking, subscribing,